Hello everyone and welcome back to our little Kaliningrad scenario. I think it's high time that we wrap this one up, and I'm pretty certain we'll be able to do it today. Granted, we're not even through day one yet, but quite frankly most of the work is done, I would say. There are just a couple of more things to do until we have more or less complete air superiority over the territory. So first and most importantly is Karlovsk airbase, which still holds a sizable number of flankers. Also, once the clock strikes 0 hours, they will have a couple of additional fighters that will come online. They have been readying from the start with like a 1 day timer. So that means if the airbase is still operational, once we get to 0 hours, they will get a backfill of flankers. So of course we want to avoid that. Secondly, there is still a whole airbase over here with 2 S-300 sites. These we haven't really touched yet. Their range is only about, I think, like 60 nautical miles or something. Just about. Well, they can actually reach all the way over here. But for anything that happens over here, they will not be very relevant. They can defend their immediate vicinity though. So these will have to be taken out, and this is something that we will actually do later. But yeah, otherwise there is not really that much left. Like the main air defense sites over here at Gvardeysk and the ones in on the western side of the territory, they are all neutralized. So that means we basically have free reign over this area of the territory, at least as long as there is no fighter coverage from the Russian side. But yes, this is something we'll deal with pretty much right at the start. Okay, so how do we proceed from here? It is now 15:47. Ground strike loadouts will usually take 6 hours to ready. That means we have one strike that we can theoretically send before we get to 0 hours, at which time we want to have neutralized Karlovsk. So for the moment, we will basically reset all of our, or like most of our air assets to refit to air-to-ground loadouts. And the most important part of this, of course, is our F-16 fleet. So, of course, unfortunately, last time our F-16s at Lusk were a little bit decimated by that Panzer. We still have a couple left. I think we want at least one round over here that can do air cover. So we will refit these into JDAMs. Readying time 6 hours. Okay, here we go. So that's 4 from Lusk. Over here, we want, how many do we want? I think we want a few with air-to-air loadouts. This is actually fine, I think. So we will refit everything here to the same JDAM loadout. And here we go, 6 hours until they're ready. Taking a quick look at our losses and expenditures, we have used up 63 of our JSOR allowance of 80. So basically we will still be able to launch a package of 8 jets with JSORs. They will be important to take out the SAM sites over here. For the strike at the airfield, we will not be using JSORs because that would be a little bit overkill. We don't need the extra range anymore. Okay, what else do we have? Over here we actually have our anti-radiation fitters. They will be ready in 3 hours. They have pretty long readying time. We'll just leave them on the Kyle for the moment. But our mix over here, they will refit into OFABs. The range is absolutely atrocious, so we'll take long range in this case. But yeah. And be careful when you refit them, like most of them will have 10-hour readying times in this case. This is one of the ones that has 6 hours, so this is the one that we'll use. They will be ready more or less at the same time when our F-16s are ready to go. Over here we still have our Golden Eagles. We will have one set on anti-air loadout, the rest refits into... yeah. We'll just take the Mark 82. So these are just free fall bombs essentially. We could use rockets, but Yeah, we'll go with bombs. And we'll take long range because, yeah, these things just don't have enough range anyway. Oh, and this actually takes us 10 hours, which is fine. So they'll not be able to take part in the airfield attack, which is fine. All right, so what else? So there are basically two things we'll still have to figure out before our airbase strike. First of all, there's probably still going to be fighter coverage, even if it's probably not that many. Like within 3 hours of the strike, we will have to sally out with our anti-air squads and try to turn them back to base so that we don't have flankers harassing us on the bomb run. And it's probably going to be around the time when we do a little anti-radiation strike from here. And secondly, we actually have to know where the planes are. And for that, we will have to use a scout essentially. So right now, we see that some of them are occupied, but this is just, I'm pretty sure we don't actually know what's in there. So if we get like a reconnaissance plane or drone over the area, we will be able to see where the planes are parked, so that we can then drop bombs on them. If we don't, like by the time our strike arrives, if we don't know where the planes are parked, then we cannot snipe them off the parking spots essentially. And yeah, this works particularly well for a Russian airfield because they usually park their planes out in the open, which is convenient. So far so good. I think it's time to start the clock. There's not going to be much happening in the next 2 or 3 hours, so I guess we'll just fast forward a bit, and yeah, I'll see you all in 3 to 4 hours when we start doing some stuff. All right. All right, it's now almost 1900 hours Zulu, and I think our fitters should be ready to go. Yes, they are. And as we can see here, we have a little bit of an air patrol out. So I think it is time to start making some noise. So we'll launch 2 groups, one from Lusk and one from Poznan. So this will be the same procedure as last time, essentially. We just try to aggro them on one of the teams and then take them in a pincer optimally. Worst case scenario, we just lob missiles at each other and turn them back to base, so where they will then be destroyed by bombs. Both of these scenarios work fine for me. Meanwhile, we'll be launching the fitters. We just launched them as a big blob, that should be fine. Also, no shenanigans needed in this case with like a low level approach. We'll just have them up at 36,000 feet, because there is nothing here anymore that should bother them. Okay, these seem to actually be going back to base, but we have another group coming. Gonna make sure that we're not burning too much fuel here. Yeah, so they're coming in with afterburner, so they're almost twice as fast as our squad over here, but they will be burning a lot of fuel, and at the same time we'll have one of ours located behind them if everything goes to plan. So we'll give one for each. At the same time, we'll start firing with our group from the west. Oh, this missile is pretty fast. Ah, damn, we lost one. Okay. Oh, damn, in fact, we lost both of them. Holy crap. Okay. See how our own missiles are doing. Oh, they're very low. That's bad. Okay. Yeah, I guess at this point we'll just try to keep them away from the action. At the same time, what we can probably do is launch a few more Bayraktars, because Why the hell not? In the meantime, our fitters are closing in. So we're starting to lose quite a few F-16s. Like, not ideal. Not ideal. So we'll just reroute these to Poznan. Do we still have... Yes, if they keep following us, we can just launch another group from Poznan. I think there is nothing left at Lusk for this purpose. We still have... No, actually, we do have 2 Golden Eagles ready over here, but they'll just get slaughtered, so... It might be necessary for us to actually launch the next round. This is getting a little bit dicey. Meanwhile, our fitters are actually now in range. So we'll just start working on the radars in this area over here. So let's see, what do we have? We have a whole bunch of radars here, so I guess we'll just give each of them a single missile. That should thin them out a little bit. Oh, we actually don't have enough for all of them, but that's fine. Can't fire. One of them seems to be lagging behind a little bit. There we go. Okay. And back to base. So we do have some incoming missiles over here. Let's see what we can hit. That's 1, 2. Let's see over here. That one missed. This one took out the radar. Perfect. And we have a single one still on the way from here. Oops. Should be able to defend against that. And smack. That's another radar gone. Okay, what do we still have here? Yeah, they do still have... Well, they actually still have a toll rack. Okay. That's unfortunate. So they will still be able to see quite far into the area. Yeah, he's going after the Bayraktars. Yeah, these things are not very survivable, unfortunately. There goes one. And there goes the second. Damn, these 2 guys have been on fire. They have like quite a few kills. Do they still want more? Let's see. No, they seem to be heading back. Okay. Would you look at that? We actually did manage to get a drone over the airfield. So this is our little Bayraktar with a with an infrared surveillance camera. Let's do a little pass so that get an idea what's going on down there. There we go. Now we got updated intel on all of them. As you can see here, 30 seconds ago, 1 second ago, 4 seconds ago. Excellent. This should be everything we need. So this one can just continue its, or finish its pass, and then off we go back to base. Alright, so it is now almost 2200, and our strike is ready to go. So these are 16. In total, we'll have them in groups of 8. So we launch this as a group, this as a group. While they get ready, we'll also launch our MiGs. Over here at Lusk, we have another round of 4. These will also go out as a group, so we'll have 2 groups from Poznan, 1 group from Lusk, and 1 advance party from Malbork. And here they come. May the fun begin. Oh damn. Okay, something might have gone wrong here. This usually means that they, for some reason, cannot launch. That is unfortunate. Do we have damage on the runway or something? Not really. I'll see if they maybe want to come out still, but if not, then we'll have to content ourselves with the F-16 strike. So this group over here will make up the first round. Time for our pass. And here we are. Oh, and apparently there seems to be... Okay, first things first, we need to get our bombs off the rail. Can we fire bombs? Not all of them are in range yet. Just to make sure that this one does not bother us immediately, we'll just send off a bunch of missiles after it. Yeah, this is a Su-27. Very annoying. Okay. But he'll need a moment to get to altitude. Okay, let's see. So, each of the flankers, or like each of the occupied parking spots will... Oh, look at that. They have been on the runway when the drone saw them. Okay. But, yeah, anyway. So, all of the ones that are occupied will get a bomb. So, let me quickly do that. So, that actually isn't enough to satisfy all of them, but that's fine. We have more groups coming up. Let's see. These are fast missiles. This should be enough to strike him down. Yes. Okay. Problem solved. So one JDAM still on the rail. And it's off. Okay. Time to turn back. So we'll just scoot to the left over here towards the ocean. And yeah, let's see if we can make a few craters. Here they come. Oh yeah, and really quick, we can actually, before we get the first impacts, we can go and check where we were at the start. So we had, like, the fencers don't count. So 8 Su-27 and 2 Su-30s were casualties before this. And I think we have to go all the way to 24 and 12. And ready for impact. Oh, this one didn't quite hit. Smack. Yes, that hurts. We don't actually see any damage indication yet because we haven't seen the aftermath. For that, we need someone to take a look at it. And I think we'll do this with this group. Oh, there's another plane launching. Actually, this is the perfect moment to just turn around and waste that guy before he can get up to altitude. Oh, look at him go. We're actually in Sidewinder range. That should not be necessary. 3 AMRAAMs at close range will do the trick. Also, he launched missiles at us. This little bastard. Yeah, that's very dangerous. Let's see if we get punished here. Oh no, we lost another one. This one is also at risk. And he survived. Okay. So we basically traded another F-16 for a flanker. That is fine. Okay, so we'll just quickly do a pass from over here. Go back to cruise. That should do it. Let's see. So anything that's unknown will be dead because it's like these were previously spotted. So we still have a 27 here, a 30 here. And those, I think, are not current anymore. So there's still a Su-27 and a Su-30 here. So we'll just reroute them over here and have our second team swoop in for more mayhem. Meanwhile, we will also take a look at the helicopter base over here, Bravo, at the launch point for this group. So in this case, we'll just, whatever remains, we'll get 2. And yeah, why not? We can also give the drone a little bit of a nudge. And here comes the next round of impacts. Smack, smack, and smack, smack. Perfect. Let's take a look at the helicopter base. Yes, there's a lot of hinds here. So what are we going to do about this? I think each of them will take a bomb. This group is out of bombs now. We will still use them to do a little bit of battle damage assessment. This group over here still has 8 JDAMs. So we will just distribute them a little bit. So things that we do not like are radars. So give this one a little bomb, this one as well. And everything else, I think we'll just bomb the access points. Okay, that should be all the ordnance that we had. Time to watch some hinds explode. And smack, 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 smack. And we're getting some impacts over here. That's that. So we should get an idea any moment now. Are they still too high? Ah, still pretty high. Ah, there we go. Okay. So looks like we hit all of the occupied spots. Take a quick look. Oh, there's still a hind here. Okay. But other than that, I think we can deal with a single one. Let's take a look over here. This one seems to be cleared out entirely. Runway access points are damaged, but not destroyed. Anyway, they still have one over here, so... Alright, everyone back to base. Let's take a look at our losses and expenditures. That would be 24 Su-27, 12 Su-30s. We got them all. That is the fighter cover of Kaliningrad wiped out. From now on, we can do pretty much what we want. So it's just past 600 hours, day 2 right now, and it's time for us to start dealing with the S-300s over here on the eastern side, protecting the Cherniakovska airbase. We have refitted basically every plane we have into ground attack loadouts, and this is how it's going to work. So we have a first wave of strikers consisting of all our fitters, again loaded with the Kyle anti-radiation missile. Nice standoff range, and they are supersonic, so they'll give the somewhat aged S-300s a little bit to work on. At the same time, we'll have the remaining JSOURs that we are allowed to use over here in 8 of the F-16s. They have a very similar range, so all of these can be launched outside the effective range of the S-300s. So these planes over here will not risk getting shot down by these sites over here. Once these are done, we have a whole bunch of additional groups over here in squadrons of 4, all of them armed with JDAMs. I have another group coming from Lusk Air Base. These are also armed with JDAMs. So the idea is that we'll use our standoff weapons to deplete these sites as much as possible, and they will need around an hour or so to reload. That's not enough, like they won't have enough time to get their tubes ready again before our second wave arrives. And yeah, let's hope that we can manage to neutralize them without losing any more F-16s, because it is totally possible that they will still have a couple of missiles left over when our JDAM bombers arrive. But yeah, we'll see. Also, there's still a Panzer over here that is protecting these radars. It was located at the old Gvardesk site. We really do not want to deal with this thing at close range, because, yeah, we've all seen how much damage they can do. It should, however, be possible to launch some JDAMs at it outside its effective range, because these are very short range. Also, they have command guided missiles, like a little bit similar, like a rapier. So they are extremely effective against helicopters and low flying planes, but not as much for incoming munitions. But yeah, we'll see if we can take it out. First and foremost, we have to deal with the long-range air defense, of course. And this is what we're going to do now. And here we are. So first things first, I think we will send them a little bit on like a trajectory in this direction and start our salvo with the JSOURs. These will almost certainly get shot down, but the idea is that we want to have the cowls coming in the moment that they also have to deal with the JSOURs. Let's see if we can manage to do that. Okay, first of all, let's get our JSOURs off the rail. We'll just spread them evenly across the two sites. And here they come. So we will just send this group back to base. And then we'll have to wait for these glide bombs to slowly but surely make their way to their targets. These things are not all that fast. I mean, Mach 0.9. Surprisingly fast for something that is not powered. I don't know how realistic that is, but yeah, we'll see. We have launched them from high altitude, so they have a little bit of altitude to work with. Okay, so the bombs are more or less halfway between us and the target, but this should probably be okay. All right. Let's see. Why are we not? We need something that has a radar, obviously. So this is our target. We will give each of them 4 Kyles. Let's see how well they will deal with this. And here come the Kyles. Problem is we might not have a lot of radar coverage here right now. Let's hope that we can actually see what's going on. Fitters, turn around. Okay, so 16 JSOURs. Let's see. Once the culling begins, there it comes, down to 14. Unfortunately, we can't see the incoming missiles because we don't have radar in the area right now. And we're down to 7. Kyles so far not getting molested. 6. Oh, and the first Kyles are starting to die. Oh, that's a lot of Kyles taken out. How much is there still? 2 Kyles, 6 JSORs. 1 Kyle, 5 JSORs. Come on. Ah, all the Kyles are dead. It's unfortunate. Was kind of hoping for some of them to get through. Damn. Yeah, 2 JSORs left. 1 JSOR left. This one is having a pretty good run. But it's trying to get all the way over here. And it's dead. Okay. Well, I would really have liked to see like a hit or something there. But yeah. It was not meant to be. Okay, time for minimum altitude. Let's just check really quick. What's the launch altitude for these? We have to be above 2000. Okay. Okay, so while we're at minimum altitude, the SAMs should not be able to lock onto us. The moment we peak up to launch, they will be able to lock onto us, and hopefully we can just get our weapons off and turn around. Again, the missiles on these will be severely depleted, but they might still have a few. And yeah, it might get dicey, but hey, what can you do? We don't have any standoff weapons left, so this is kind of what we have to work with. So first round, come on, you can do a little bit of a turn. Just have to keep an eye on the fuel. While they're low like this, they will burn through a lot of fuel very fast. Okay, I guess we can do our first round. So we'll just go up to altitude. Oops, what's that? Ah, they're still shooting. Oops, and we lost one. Okay. And another one. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah, this is very sketchy. Technically, we can probably launch at this point. Yes, we should probably do that. Let's get the JDAMs off. Maybe this was the last of the missiles that they still had. Okay, those have dropped their load. These groups, time for you to peak up. You guys go minimum altitude and get out. Yes, we're not really seeing any resistance anymore. Okay. Let's see, so we will give this one maybe 4. And the one in the back will get 2 from this group. And that would be this group done. Yes, there we are. Okay, you can actually just head back to base. Let's see. So we're getting the first impacts now. Smack. And here comes another smack. Bang. Okay. That was actually pretty effective. Okay. So we might not need more than 4 to completely trash the site. I mean, these are 200-pound bombs, so they do a lot of damage. again, would make more sense to have like cluster munitions for this kind of stuff, but I guess 2,000 pounds will still do the trick. Let's see if this one is going to be just as effective. Yes, actually, we didn't even need the second round. Okay, so, whew. That has cost us, I think, 3 planes. Okay, you guys go back to base, and then we have another round of JDAMs over here, and we still have some over here, I think, yes. So we can use them to start working on the radars and stuff. Actually, we have the East gunner positioned over here, and this one we can probably also explode. And here they come. And smack. And it's dead. Very good. Okay. Next one up is the Greyhound, like the Panzer over here. I think the best way of to do this is just go to maximum altitude, because these things are limited in range. They might, or they should not be able to target us at this range and altitude. If we get closer than like 6 nautical miles, then we might be in trouble. But these things can be launched at 30 nautical miles. We just have to make sure that we don't, like, we get out of their engagement circle immediately. Hey, what can possibly go wrong? And we're getting closer here. So far, no missiles launched against us. The moment we can launch, we will get off 4 JDAMs and then turn away immediately. So this will probably be one of them in range. Now we probably have 2. See? Yes. Exactly 2. Perfect. So that's going to be 4. Come on. Launch. Launch. Second one. Yes. Okay. Like, we'll be on the very edge of their engagement range. If they shoot at us from that, at that range, though, we should be able to just turn away and get away from the missile. Okay, let's see if they can deal with this. Again, the Panzer should not be very good at engaging something like a falling bomb, but yeah, we'll see. Yes, it doesn't seem to engage these. Oh, it does engage them. Okay. Oh, and we've lost 2. Come on. Probably just need 1 hit. Oh, come on. Alright, I mean, we do have more where that came from. Let's give it another go. Time to drop. And they're out of bombs. Perfect. Now, don't get too close to that thing. And in fact, you guys can start to head home. Okay, okay, second round. Let's hope this is the end of them. And we already lost 1. Come on, I just need 1 or 2 hits. Yes! And smack. That's it. So Gardeysk is now officially demilitarized. Okay, now that the SEM sites are dealt with, I think we can start doing some bombing missions. First of all, we want to clear this area over here. And I think we might be able to still use these MiGs. I'll just have to try to launch them manually. So we'll just set up a few missions really quick. So we'll have one in this area. Add new mission, and that will be bomb mix. It will be a patrol, anti-ground. These will be unguided bombs, so we really have to make sure that they will be at low altitude when they attack. Otherwise they can go high. We will have flight sizes of 2 in this case. Fly radars on, that's fine. They should stay within their box, and that should work nicely. Then we also have our FA-50s, the Golden Eagles, ready to go. These don't have crazy range. We might just, I mean, they can probably take out this area a little bit, so we'll just rinse and repeat. At this point we're not attacking the airfields yet, that will come later. Yes. So we'll just do that with all of them. I don't really know what the issue is, but if we try to launch them all at once, then they'll just glitch out. But that's fine. Okay. Here they come. Bombs away. Or maybe not. These things have not been cooperating very well. Is there something wrong with the mission? Let's disallow strafing for the moment. Yes, that looks a lot better. There we go. Yeah, so probably wasn't a good idea to allow them to strafe. Well, and bang. That's this site dealt with. And yes, perfect. Oh boy. What is that? Oh, it's probably, they have manpads at these. Let's hope that we're not getting punished for this. Looking okay. And bombs away. Bang. Okay. Maybe also take out this helicopter over here. They still had like a hind, and I guess this is it. Altitude 2,000 feet. Yes, there it is. Bang. Okay, they got it once. Do we still have missiles? Yes, they still have. They have quite a few missiles. Bang. Perfect. Well done. Time to head home. And here come the Golden Eagles, still in their triangular glory. And here they come. First round. Bombs away. Okay, that was one of them. I think they only have like, yeah, they have 2 bombs. So, not a crazy amount of ordnance. Yeah, I mean, they did some work, but still a lot of stuff standing. But we have almost a full day to work on this. So this is what we're going to do. So we have the option to use some free, like, unguided cluster munitions here, and we will probably do that. These will be our anti-radar guys, essentially. Yeah, the rest of these will just arm with 500-pound bombs. That should be fine. We'll have the cluster guys work on the radars, while the bomb guys work on the airfields. And yeah, basically all we have to do is set up some missions and yeah, go to town. These will ready for 6 hours. It is now 7:30 Zulu. That means we do have 2 rounds of bombing runs. Yeah, that's going to be it. So let's see how much mayhem we can cause and what might still be standing at the end of day 2. Okay, that was it. The end of day 2. So unfortunately, like, the MiGs and the fitters kept glitching out, so we couldn't use them for the last round of strikes, but yeah, it probably won't make a terrible amount of difference. So we are in the editor now, and we can actually just switch over and take a look at our airfields. So first things first, Cherniakovska, not a crazy amount of damage. This one was basically not really bombed. We still have like an intact runway and everything, so this airbase could still be used. We also still have a couple of the fencers in here that were in maintenance, so they were not completely destroyed, since they were like in hardened aircraft shelters. Okay. Next up, Khalovsk. So Khalovsk is pretty much wasted. There are no more planes in here. All of the ones in maintenance were destroyed. Runway took some damage, but all the access points are dead, so this airbase wouldn't work anymore. Last but not least, Khabrovo airbase. Again, not a crazy amount of damage, but yeah, it took a beating, and all the helicopters are dead. So apart from that, SAM sites and radars are pretty much all cleared out, with the one exception over here, where they still have like a spring box radar. All right, let's take a look at our losses and expenditures. So we did lose 17 of our F-16 fighters, which is a little bit more than I would have liked. This has been a fairly wasteful run, unfortunately. When it comes to munitions, we are within the limits of both of our standoff weapons. Interestingly, we went through a lot of AIM-120s. It's quite striking, like just 2 days of fighting with like a limited number of planes, but the amount of air-to-air missiles that get fired is pretty staggering. I don't know how long it would be possible to keep this kind of rate up. But yeah, otherwise, some CBUs, some GBUs. Where are we with the JDAMs? Let's see. Oh, here. Yeah, okay, those are JDAMs. So we did use up 64 JDAMs and actually over 200 500-pound bombs. These should be fairly plentiful, so not the big problem. Russian side, of course, yeah, it's basically everything they had. Not much more to see here. Okay, going back to our original question. Can Poland actually defeat Kaliningrad? So there are a couple of caveats here. First of all, we kind of treated Kaliningrad like its own little country, and they didn't receive any support from any of the air bases in Russia proper or Belarus. Kinda have to expect some kind of standoff strikes or support from the Russian mainland, so to say. And this obviously wasn't modeled here at all. Secondly, there would probably be an effort to relocate the SAM sites in case of an emergency. Don't know how much difference it would make in our modern world, where you can easily send drones or have satellite images basically every day. And yeah, these sites are not exactly difficult to find. So yeah, but it might make a difference, might make no difference. But yes, it's a factor. The main factor that we haven't really considered, of course, is the HIMARS. Again, like Poland has HIMARS with GMLRS rockets. You don't even have to get them that close to the border to be able to reach almost everything within the territory. No matter what you think about how effective an S-400 is against HIMARS rockets, if it has to defend against these at the same time when the Air Force is bombing them, it's like the whole scenario would have looked quite different. So if you zoom out and look at it like as a whole, I think Kaliningrad is actually in a pretty precarious situation, even if Poland would be the only thing they had to worry about. I think Kaliningrad probably wouldn't last more than 1 or 2 days. Lastly, let's look at a few things that I think can be improved. Of course, there's going to be reasons why Poland has acquired certain things and may not have acquired certain other things. This is like a very, very limited scope, but let's see it as something that would have made the scenario easier, completely disregarding any of the other factors that may be at play when it comes to procurement. The first of this is definitely cluster munitions. So Russia is very strong in land-based air defense, obviously. And yeah, unitary warheads are just not very well suited to take out SAM sites. You kind of want cluster munitions. And yes, they do get a bad rap, and for a good reason, but in this case, they are also just very, very effective. And the JSOW is, I think, mostly developed as a seared tool, and like the cluster munitions version is still one of the important versions of the JSOW, and Poland doesn't have the cluster munition version, which would have been very useful. So more cluster options would have been appreciated. Secondly, where are the harms? If you do have F-16s, why not also have anti-radiation missiles? Poland doesn't seem to have any. This would have been very useful, especially early on when we had to deal with a whole bunch of S-400 and S-300 sites. We had to expend valuable standoff weapons that could have been used for other things as well. Instead, why not just launch a couple of harms? They are fast, they're difficult to intercept, they are really annoying to deal with for a SAM site. So yeah, maybe just go buy some harms or the more advanced versions of them. I don't care. Like, I really just need them to draw out their missiles. And thirdly, Russia has a lot of flankers. In any kind of conflict in the near or medium-term future, if you have to deal with Russia, you will be dealing with a lot of flankers. So please give me an unfair matchup against them. Right now, Poland is very dependent on their F-16s, and the F-16s with AIM-120Cs against a flanker with adders is at least an even matchup, or maybe the flanker even has a tiny little bit of an advantage here because the missiles might be better. This is not the kind of fight that you want to have. You want to be in a position to dunk on them. And you can do that, for example, with F-35s, or for example with the Meteor, just outrange them by a whole bunch. I don't really care, but if you have to go up against lots of flankers, makes sense to have something like this. And I think Poland actually does acquire F-35s, so this is probably going to be the answer in the medium term. But yeah, right now, a direct confrontation would result in a lot of dead F-16s, as we have seen. Okay, so these were just my 2 cents to this topic. Hope you found the scenario interesting. I certainly did. Had a lot of fun playing through it, and yeah, hope to see you for the next one. Bye.